How are you? Can you join me? You bet. I've known Brad Sala for 2 years as a student, but with him I really didn't have to do much teaching. It was more like guiding. I just showed him a door and he blew right through it. He's a unique combination of talent, scholarship, hard work, and most of all, humor. In other words, a pretty good mix for a successful life. He's also very tall.
For each of the graduates here today and their families, today is a day filled with a sense of culmination. For some, it's a day to celebrate 4 years of hard work and dedication. Others, like myself, are here to celebrate a longer journey. I graduated high school in 2003 with most of my life planned out. I was going to do 2 years of junior college, transfer here to Cal State Fullerton, play baseball, and either become a sports reporter or, if I got really lucky, a professional baseball player. Now, 8 years later, I'm graduating with my RTVF degree and heading in a direction I never imagined I'd be going. One that will be challenging, but just as exciting as what I originally had planned for myself. Whether your journey is taking you down the path you always dreamed of, or you're navigating it as you go along, I believe each event has its purpose. While riding my bike to school in 5th grade, I was hit by a car. The resulting injuries and doctor's visits revealed that I had a chronic blood disorder. After hundreds of blood tests and 3 bone marrow tests, doctors decided to remove my spleen, a solution that failed. 1 knee surgery in high school, another shortly after, derailed my hopes of playing baseball professionally, or even at the college level. In junior college, though, I was lucky enough to come across a professor that helped me put all these challenges in context. Professor Lynn Medeiros is one of those teachers whose passion is infectious, and I knew from the moment I stepped into her class she'd be an important part of my life. One day, Lynn shared this story with the class. She was watching a rodeo with one of her daughters when she learned that just before the rodeo began, the bull riders picked from a hat the name of the bulls they'd be riding. As each rider reached his hand into the hat, he was hoping to get the meanest, craziest, baddest bull in the bunch. They want the craziest bull because that's the only way they can find out what they're made of and show how good they truly were. Lynn went on to explain that this is the same thing we should want in our own lives. We should want the meanest, baddest, craziest, wildest ride we can get. It's the only way we can find out what we are made of and how good we can really be. If life is too easy, we only ever use a portion of our talents and abilities. For me, this anecdote went a step further. I realized that, like the bull riders, there are times we're going to get bucked off and hit the dirt hard. But we have our family and friends by our side to put on the clown makeup, distract the bull until we can get back on our feet and ready for another ride. I stand at this podium today as the first person in my immediate family to graduate college, but I don't stand here alone. In the audience today are my mom, dad, stepmom, aunt, sister, brother-in-law, nephew, and one of my closest friends. Each of them in their own way is on this stage with me and has earned a part of whatever success might come my way. When things have been rough, especially in the last 2 years since I moved here from Sacramento, it has been their voices that have helped me through. Whether that voice is my mom yelling rock and fire like she did when I played baseball as a kid, trying to get me to trust myself and not overthink things, or my dad constantly reminding me that what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, or even my aunt singing, you don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. They have all impacted my life greatly. As it came to the slow realization that my original goals were no longer reality, I began writing. Somewhere along the way, I got the idea I could write a screenplay. Once that idea took hold, it was all I could think about. Having already decided I wanted to come to Cal State Fullerton, it felt like fate when I learned about the RTVF program here. In my first semester here, I met 2 professors who felt would guide my growth as a writer and become mentors to me. Joel Selbo and Professor Roseanne Welch have challenged me to step outside my comfort zone in my writing. This has led me to do the same in my personal life. With the lessons I have learned from them, I feel ready for the next chapter in my life. Go forward, embrace fear. Fear is one of those words that's gotten a bad reputation, but I'd say it's an undeserved reputation. I break fear down into 2 categories, the first paralyzing, the second motivating. Paralyzing fear is characterized by its ability to stop our development as individuals. Motivating fear, on the other hand, I think facilitates growth and development. Motivating fear, missed my place. I realize that I live my life in a constant state of fear, and that isn't a bad thing. When I was asked to speak here today, I was afraid. Afraid that I wouldn't leave an impression or that I'd stumble over my words like I just did. But instead of letting that fear become paralyzing and letting it force me to shrink away, it has motivated me. motivated me to think about the people who have had the greatest impact on my life and how I can share their lessons with you today. One of the best things about living life in this sort of fear is that each moment, each action you take gives you not only the ability to learn from any missteps, but to face fear head on, grab it by the horns, and make it work for you. I'd like to end today with a quote from a person who I've never met but has found impact on my life, Bruce Lee. Most of the people know that Bruce Lee is a martial artist and movie star. Some people even know he created his own martial art known as Jeet Kune Do. What very few people realize is that Bruce studied philosophy at the University of Washington, would read pretty much anything he could get his hands on, and was a prolific writer in the short time that he was alive. Bruce liked to use a term to describe his life goals. See, he didn't want to be known simply as a martial artist or an artist for his writing or acting ability. He wanted to be known as an artist of life. The quote that I'm going to read is a nice piece of serendipity in itself. The day I was asked to speak, I began to think about what I would say. As I stared at the wall and realized that I hadn't changed my calendar from March to April, I flipped the page, and this was the quote of the month. And as they say, Hollywood couldn't have scripted it any better. Quote, "My friends, think of the past in terms of those memories of events and accomplishments which were pleasant, rewarding, and satisfying. The present, well, think of that in terms of the challenges and opportunities and the rewards available for the applications of your talents and energies. As for the future, that is a time and place where every worthy ambition you possess is within your grasp." Thank you.